Hi, welcome my beautiful friends. Today we're going to talk about a very important subject and we will talk about who's supposed to pay on a date. If you haven't checked my previous videos, I did talk a bit about it, but I haven't explored that subject as much. So I want to address the fact that men supposed to pay on the date and you don't have to feel bad about it. You don't have to apologize for it. You don't have to show him that you are that independent woman who is able to earn her money and women can do it all sort of idea, and that you're gonna pay. I know a lot of us have these insecurities. Obviously there are a lot of us who grew up without father figure, or the father wasn't very present and the father didn't give that teaching to the child, and it works for men and women, unfortunately. So if the man didn't have any father figure and he didn't work on himself, what's gonna happen is obviously he gonna feel like, I'm the prize, and she can pay. Why not? If she's making even more money than me, why the hell do I have to pay for anything? And there are a lot of different reasons why you shouldn't pay, but let me start with the manners, with the etiquette, and definitely with the whole feminism idea. It doesn't really matter from what way you want to look at it. The truth is, if a man pays on a date, especially on the first few days, you're gonna set a pathway for him to learn that this is the way that you want to be treated. But if you're gonna go with the flow and he will insist for you to split the bill and you're gonna see him again and again, that just shows that you don't have any values, you don't have any traditional values. You are sort of, I can do it all, and this is the idea that you're setting for him and for the future relationship that you're gonna have with that man. I've never ever had the situation that a man asked me to pay on a date, thanks God. I would definitely just probably laugh, or I would be very surprised. There is no way, it doesn't matter how much he's gonna insist, I will never ever pay for a date. First of all, I never ask a man out, and the person who is asking is the person who's supposed to pay. That's just how it goes. That's just so normal. Why would you feel bad about the fact that he is paying for you to meet, for you to be maybe his future wife? There is a big potential there, and if he already insisting that you have to split the bill, do you think he's really serious about you? Do you think that he's treating you with that sort of level of respect that you would like him to treat you? So you can do a very quick test about it. If you're still insisting that it's a woman who's supposed to pay, let me tell you that if you can put a hand on your heart and feel you're on a date and you're with this guy and it's great, it's going so well, the date is nearly ending and the bill arrives, and he just smiles, yes, he takes the bill, he pays for the bill, you're just there, you're thanking him, thank you so much, I had a wonderful time, and you are leaving. Yeah, you're both leaving. How does that feel? Does it feel good? So now imagine a second scenario when the bill arrives and you're the one who's like reaching for it. Oh yes, I'm gonna pay, I'm gonna be the one, and you pay for that bill. How do you feel inside you? What do you feel about the man in this moment? Personally, I feel like I wouldn't be able to respect that guy in the long run. And why would I be with somebody that I can't respect? It doesn't make sense. For any man, it's so important to have the respect from the female or from the woman that he is with, and we're supposed to be giving that 100%. If you don't respect the guy, if you don't trust the guy, like, also I feel like when you're insisting on paying the bill, it also shows that you don't trust him as much as you're supposed to trust him. If I trust the man that I'm with, I'm trusting that he is gonna lead us towards a better future. If I trust the man, I trust that if I'm gonna be pregnant, he's gonna look after me and after the baby, and also he's gonna support me and the baby. Because even if you're working and you feel like you can support all the family, during the pregnancy, and this is so difficult stage in any woman life, you know, like some women, they used to work all their lives and now they have babies and they feel like they don't want to come back to that job anymore. They prefer to stay with the baby, but they don't have a choice because they set up this scenario when everything is 50-50 and you have to contribute, otherwise you feel like you don't have enough value in yourself, and this is just so wrong. I also feel like if you're allowing men to pay, you are setting up a success for the future generation. You're teaching these men that, you know, that they're supposed to pay for you, for a woman that they want to be with. I think like we all are trapped in that believing that we're supposed to pay because otherwise we don't bring any value. And if you feel like you don't have any values and you don't bring anything to the table, you will make sure that you're gonna pay, or at least split the bill. Like some women will say, oh, at least I'm gonna offer to pay, or at least I'm gonna pay a tip. Teamwork is a dream work, okay? Teamwork is a dream work. So I'm gonna work as hard as he is, and I'm gonna pay for everything. If you are one of them women, just stop. And if the guy will ever ask you to pay or split the bill, or he will look like he's insisting, you know, like he's insisting for you to even offer something, don't date him again. Don't even give any explanation, just block him or say thank you so much, I had a wonderful time, and leave. Don't put yourself in this situation when you can get that abuse from him or abuse from anybody else in that matter. You are a lady of worth. Your worth is so important, and your value is not about whether you're gonna pay or not. Your values lays somewhere else, and men either have that or don't. So don't so I've seen some women, I was actually on a date with somebody else, and back in the days, and I actually saw a woman who you know, who acted out when the man next to us insisted her to pay. She did a big drama out of it. I mean, that's fine. I think that's still better than paying for it, because let's say if he's been on a date with a few different women and all of them said yeah I can pay, he thinks like, oh, so all of these women can pay, so why the hell do I have to pay for that one? If you're doing this, you are treating yourself bad, and you're treating all the women bad, like all the future women that he's gonna be dating. Can you get that? This is big, this is profound. So if a man has been raised in a certain way, it's gonna be a super difficult. I think it's even gonna be impossible to change his acts and behaving just by talking and communicating what you think it's gonna do best. Usually how the man's brain work, if it's coming from a male figure, he's gonna look at it different, you know, he's gonna look at it as something important and valuable. But if it's coming from your mouth, he's just gonna see it as just like, what she's talking about, you know, she just wants me to pay for everything, and she wants to use my hard-earned money. This is not the case. So you just can't talk about it, you can't brag about it, and you can't expect him to do anything. If he doesn't willing to do it, you go out your own way and leave him alone, like leave him be. Don't create, you know, a skull for a man and expect him to understand what the place that you're coming from. Okay, so then the last thing I want to say is, if most of the times if you're meeting the guys who wants you to pay on the date and you kind of like giving up, please don't. Make sure you look at your appearance, make sure you look at the way you're speaking to the man and the way you're acting and presenting yourself, because I think like this is even more important than anything else. As I said before, I've never been asked to pay on the date, and I think it was because of the way that I was I was acting, the way I was approaching men. And I was also very grateful. If you don't know what to do with yourself when the bill arrives, you just have to sit there, you just have to be there, you just have to say politely, thank you ever so much for inviting me, I had a wonderful time, and I appreciate your time, or something like, I appreciate how fun the date was, I had so much fun. Just be nice and be playful and be polite and be you. I always give you that advice, and I think if that resonates with you, then please leave me a comment, and I do want to hear your story. I want to hear what sort of man you want to date, and what feels good to you. As a collective, as a woman, I would like to raise my children in a place where I feel like she has a good values as well. And I think the values comes not only from parents, but it comes from everywhere. So let's say if my husband would have all the friends that will, the friends would set up certain standard, and the way they've been treating women, he cannot slack, he can't be something else, because everybody else is on that level. So I feel like the more collective knowledge we have, the more we can set this world right. And I don't want you to believe that men who pays doesn't exist, because they definitely do, and there are a lot of great men out there who will never ever insist for you to pay, and will actually feel embarrassed when you do offer. So don't even offer, just take it as it is. I also had some male friends in the past, even though we weren't dating, we weren't like any romantic relationship, they would always insist to pay. Even if they would see me by accident, they would be like, oh, let's go for a coffee, let's go for a drink, I will buy you some dinner. We also had few friends, so let's say there was like few girls, and we just met him, like one of my friends, he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna invite you all for a meal, or I'm gonna invite you for a drink, and he would always pay for everybody. Okay, there are coaches out there, like, I'm not gonna give any names, but I've seen they have millions and millions views online, and a lot of people agree to it when he's been saying, especially when especially that comes from men point of view, when he's been saying that he always wants at least a woman to offer to pay, but funny enough, he's still not in any relationship. So I always say, if you're not in a relationship and you've been like dating multiple women, and you giving the advice to other women of how they're supposed to act, I think that's a bit dangerous to listen to that sort of coaches. So be careful who you're listening to, and be careful who will give you the advice that will set you up for life. Because those advice, the coaches that goes with that new flow, and they do want to believe you that you have to pay for everything 50-50, you're an incredible independent woman and you don't even need a guy, that will not set you up for a good start, and that will not create a nice romantic relationship when he's gonna be chasing after you. I also do want to say, and this is my belief, that if the man cannot afford a date, he shouldn't be dating. Full stop, period. If he cannot afford to pay 40, 50, 60 pounds, if he is the one who is choosing the restaurant, and he is choosing the food, so he's supposed to know his budget. And I'm not saying that you're all supposed to go to a place when he's gonna spend £1,000 on one dinner. That's not the case, and it's even not about the money. This is not just about the materialistic thing. It's all about the fact that he is protecting, providing, he's leading with his money, with his knowledge, with his acts, and that's more important than the actual payment. The first few dates can be a restaurant, but later on he can, or you can even offer to, if you like museums, if you like theater. Not every dates can be so expensive, so also you need to look at the guy's budget. Some people are, some women, they very successful, and they are making six figures and they wouldn't allow a guy who wouldn't have, you know, money to pay on a date to come in her life. And that's understandable, because if she's got such a good life, why she has to go like so much down, so much? Again, as I said, this is not just about money, this is all about how you feel in that situation. And again, if you really feel bad about him paying the bill, maybe just leave your card at home. You know, like leave the cash, leave the money at home, leave your wallet at home, and go on a date. And if you're really insisting on paying, then you just can't pay because you don't know, you know. And even if you can pay with the phone, just leave the phone. Leave the phone at home, and don't insist to pay. Let him be leading you. Because as I said, if the man is not ready to pay on a date, he's not ready to pay for you and for the lifestyle that you and your family would want to have. If he can't afford £50, £70, whatever, if he can't afford to pay on a date, how he will be able to afford to create a life for you and your children? Did you ever ask yourself that question? What's going to happen in the future when you need to buy a pram, when you need to pay for the house, when you need to put a deposit in, when you need to, you know, when your car broke down, like anything. There's so many different things that the man will provide and he should be providing. And if he can't pay on a date, if you need to pay for your own coffee, then what's gonna happen? Think about it, act smart, and let me know in the comments below what do you think about this topic. I love you all. I need to go. Have a nice day. Bye.